Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, based on your time zones. This is Rishabh Kotial, your speaker for today's webinar, which is Microsoft Sentinel empowering your security operation. So, in today's webinar, which is organized by the Infosec Train, we are gonna go ahead and we are going to discuss the different factors, or just we say the introduction of your Microsoft Sentinel, because I know everyone will be familiar that it is impossible to go ahead and cover the whole Sentinel within your 1 hour of your session. But our purpose behind this is that we want to give our candidates a clear idea that what is the Microsoft Sentinel, why it is used, and I'm pretty much sure that many of you who just joined us will be familiar that what is Microsoft Sentinel. Already in the past, I have conducted some of the seminar webinars on the Sentinel as well. We have our one separate course going on, which is for the same 24-hour course, which is the journey from the beginner to intermediate level. What is Sentinel, how to onboard, and how to work with this. So let me just go ahead and let me just get started with the your Sentinel webinar today. So Microsoft Sentinel empowering your security operation. So everyone, welcome to the session, and I am Rishabh Kotial, and I am the speaker for the day. So if I will just talk about a bit about myself. So as you can see, I have a bit experience of more than 10 years now, and I am simply started with the somewhere the offensive security, then moved to the defensive security, and currently working in the cloud security domain itself. So I am also a particularly certified in the Microsoft training as well. So I am an MCT Microsoft certified trainer, and today our discussion is mostly going to be on the Microsoft cloud SIM solution, that is Microsoft Sentinel. So many of you who are already with us from a long time will be familiar that what is Infosec Train. We deliver the your high quality technical services, your training programs, certifications, and consulting service in the IT security, cyber security domain very specifically. So when we will be talking about today is going to be a cloud SIM solution. So I hope most of the candidates who are interested in this session have already joined our session for the day. So today, what we are going to discuss is just very few simple things. As I was giving you a clear warning that within 1 hour, talking about the completely about the Sentinel and practical, it is going to be a bit nearly impossible. But still, my view will be here to give you the overview regarding the Microsoft Sentinel. So here we'll be starting with the overview of Microsoft Sentinel. Then we will move into the architecture and the data collection part. We will go and talk about some use cases, key capabilities, integration with the Azure services and third-party tool, and some best practices for implementing Microsoft Sentinel. And as I was telling you during the whole this webinar, I will ask all the candidates to be on mute. I will be keep muting them if by mistake anyone got unmuted. Okay, and towards the end, once this session recording will be stopped, then I will give you the time to ask your Q&A around 10 minutes. I will give you that, and then so that you can go ahead and have your questions over here with me, right? So we will go ahead, and today we are going to start with the very first topic. What is Microsoft Sentinel? Now, many of you will be already familiar with Microsoft Sentinel terminologies, heard about it. So I think almost like 3 years old. This is there. So I think this year around October, it will be like your 4 year old, the Microsoft Sentinel tool. So when we talk about the Microsoft Sentinel, it was previously known as the Azure Sentinel. Okay, so naming changes, if you are familiar, those bit of the naming changes that used to happen. So it was known as the Azure Sentinel. Now the name is going with the Microsoft Sentinel, which is a cloud native security information and event management, which is stand for your SIM system. It is SIM solution, which is developed by the Microsoft. It is designed to empower your security operation team with intelligent security analytics and threat detection capabilities. So the Microsoft Sentinel, it leverages the power of AI and machine learning to provide a holistic view of the organization security posture and enable the proactive threat hunting as well. So just like any other SIM tool, simple thing is that it will be keeping an eye onto your whole organization, and it has the capability, whether it is, your infrastructure is on-premise infrastructure, the cloud infrastructure, it just view everything, and we all know that via the logs you monitor your whole environment. And then based on the, like I was just talking about, that it will be helping you with the bit of the threat hunting. So it will help you to investigate that if there is any threat. Also it will detect the incident and help you to handle those particular incident as well. So like I was just saying, that previous to this particular webinar, we were inducting one another webinar which was on the incident handling. So from there, now you are in the particular SIM tool, which will be helping you with that. So the purpose of Microsoft Sentinel is to enable organization to detect, investigate, and respond to the security threat effectively, and it helps security professional to aggregate and analyze the vast amount of security related data from various sources such as servers, the devices, applications, and cloud platform. By centralizing this data, the Microsoft Sentinel, it provide a unified and comprehensive view of security incident, which enable for the faster detection and response to any potential threat over here. Now we will just talk about that. It is usually a bit different from your on premises or the traditional SIM solutions. So whenever I am conducting like this is, if some of you have completed the AZ 500 certification, or you have completed something like SC 200, so there is the discussion regarding these, a particular domain. Like in AZ 500 there is a domain like security operation, where you discuss about the Sentinel part as well. That's what is Sentinel. It gives you the glimpse that how powerful as it is. In SC 200 as well, you got the again the idea that how these things they actually work. So if someone has completed these courses as well, you will be having your own idea that how the Microsoft Sentinel it work and how it is different. So whenever in my sessions as well, I am discussing and showing the demonstration on the Sentinel. So first thing, the people who already has the experience with the setting up your particular sim tools, they say that yeah, it feel like it is easy to deploy, right, and easy to use these rules as well. So when we will be talking about the Microsoft Sentinel, it is going to obviously have some of the benefits, and we are just going to talk about some of the key benefits, and that's it. So before the key benefits, I will just discuss that there is actually four phases. Just like any other SIM tool, there is going to be the four things. First is going to be the collect phase with the Microsoft Sentinel, where you will go and start collecting all the logs. Like we were talking about, you will be monitoring all the your servers, devices, application, cloud platform. So you will start collecting the logs, that what is happening and where it is happening with your servers, with your device, what is happening over there. Then you will go and you will be simply talking about the detect. So when we talk about this, first you are collecting, then out of those logs, when it is normalized and processed, you will run, you will be performing two things. Either you can be performing something like proactive huntings, right? That some your events that is happening in your organization, which right now is not a threat to your organization, but in future may develop as a threat to your organization. So for that, you might be performing the proactive threat hunting, looking for all those suspicious things that might cause problem in future for your organization. Or you will be having some of the analytics where we are talking about this. So again, these things will be coming in the next slides as well. So in the analytics, you are observing, is there any ongoing threat to your organization or not? If there, you will be getting what incident out of those analytics rules. And then you will start investigating those incident, that why it happened and how it happens. And then there is going to be the response, right? Now in the response, you are going to go ahead and you are just going to go and just with the automation, you can just go ahead and start working with the your let's say you find a malicious IP, try to connect, you can go ahead and try to block the IP address. You find, there was a virtual machine running, and someone tried to do the brute force or anything like clear the security logs, events from there. You go ahead and stop the virtual machine. You send mail, you send message on the Teams, on the Slack, those kind of the automation you can create, block the IP address, block the user account. Those kind of things are also possible for us to perform over here. Okay, so this is just the 4 steps of your Sentinel. Now, when we are talking about, we will be talking about the benefits. So quickly taking an overview of the your benefits over there. So when we talk about this, so first is advanced threat detection. So Microsoft Sentinel, it use AI and ML algorithm to detect and analyze any potential security threat in real time. It employs all the behavior analytics, anomaly detection, and machine learning module to identify any suspicious activity and indicator of your compromises in your organization or in your whole infrastructure. It can also perform proactive threat hunting, which I was talking about, that there might be some of the your events which is not a threat right now, but maybe in future they can become a threat. So security teams, they can perform threat hunting by exploring and investigating security incident and anomalies. The solution provide a rich visualization and query capability, which allow analysts to uncover hidden threats and patterns as well. With that, there is intelligence incident response. So Sentinel, it is streamline your incident response workflow by providing automated response, action, and playbooks. So it integrates with the other Azure security tools and platform, enabling the coordinated action to mitigate the threats and minimize the impact of the security incidents. Fourth thing, scalability and flexibility. So as a cloud native solution, Microsoft Sentinel, it offer scalability and flexibility to adapt to the evolving security threats. Okay, evolving security threats, and which is a kind of, we can say, need of the hour for the organizations. So it can handle large volume of security data, which is making it suitable for enterprise of all size. So then we can move into the integration with Microsoft's ecosystem. So we know that one of the reason that Azure it got its popularity was because we are so much hooked into the Microsoft's ecosystem, right? We have the products which is from the Microsoft itself. So Microsoft Sentinel, it's seamlessly integrated with other Microsoft security solutions such as Microsoft Defender for Cloud, Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, Microsoft, hold that 365. Okay, Defender, Microsoft Defender 365 series. So it is easily integrated with that as well. And these integration, they enhance the overall security ecosystem, providing the unified and cohesive defense against the cyber threats. Now we have threat intelligence community. Now Sentinel, it benefit from Microsoft's vast threat intelligence resource and partnership. It leverages threat intelligence feed and information sharing to stay up to date with the latest security threat and trends. So overall, Microsoft Sentinel, it empowers security operation team to gain the better visibility into the organization's security landscape, detect threat efficiently, and respond efficiently to the security incidents. It enables the organization to strengthen their security posture and protect their valuable asset from a wide range of cyber attack. So I think this is kind of a general outline which could be true for many of the your sim tools, we can say that. Okay, but here we are talking about the Sentinel very specifically, and it is one of the better thing is, due to it is deployed in the cloud, when you will be using it, you will feel lot of the rule creation and your AI ML, these things give you the bit of the upper hand while you are implementing and using them as well, and detecting them as well, right? Now when we will talk about that, next thing is going to be the key component of Microsoft Sentinel architecture. So yeah, I have written things like data connector, workspace, and analytics, but what are these things? To see this thing, what I will do, I will take you directly to the browser, and here I am already logged in into my MCT account. Now, what I will do is I will simply show you that how you are going to work with the deploy that architecture. So simplest thing is if you have even the free account, okay, over here. So what we will do, we can go and look for something like Microsoft Sentinel. Okay, you can search it into the your portal, and on this particular page, you can go and click on create button. Once you click on this, so what it will ask you, it will ask that you need to have a workspace, and it is not saying create a new Sentinel. It is saying add Microsoft Sentinel to a workspace. So there is a one service from the your Azure that is known as Log Analytic Workspace, and I usually call it the law, right? So no one can hide from the law. So this is a centralized database. You can think it as very simplest definition. If I were to give you of Log Analytic Workspace, it would be, if I'm calling it Log Analytics Workspace. So it is a centralized resource which can collect log from different resources, from your web apps, from your servers, from your on-premise devices as well, the networks as well, from the firewalls as well. So it can collect the log from the number of different places, from the SQL databases, and it is the central repository for your logs. So from this, if I will erase all the drawing, I will go here. And first thing, it will be asking me to create a log analytic workspace. So Sentinel will be added on top of that. So directly, if I don't want to go onto the different page and then create the log analytic workspace from there, so first it will be asking me to create a new workspace. So what I'm doing, I'm creating a log analytic workspace first. So what I will do, I will create a new resource group here, give it the name Sentinel webinar, and okay. Now to this log analytic workspace, I will give it the name Log Sentinel webinar. Okay, like this. In Istio system, I'm creating it. No tags I want with this one. I'm just reviewing my settings. And once it is done, I will click on create button and create the log analytic workspace. And let me go ahead and click on create. Okay, right. So here it is just deploying a sent dog analytic workspace first. Once it is created, what will happen? As you can see, it is deployed. Now it is just simply asking add a Microsoft Sentinel to a workspace. So what happened is it is kind of a database where you will be keeping all your logs. Now, on top of this, we are going to deploy our service, and that is going to be the Sentinel. So Sentinel will now work on top of this. So I will add it as a service on top of this log analytic workspace. So let me just go in here and let me just select this log analytic workspace and click on add, which we just created. So once I will be adding it on top of it, it will be going ahead and deploying it onto the your particular portal over here. So you will see the Microsoft portal. It is the news section of it getting started, which is telling you the free trial is activated on this workspace between this and this time. And during this time, 10 GB per day of the logs I can just go and work with. So this is for free 10 gigs. After that, I will be charged. And I can go to just this overview page, and here it is. Right. So this is just the overview page. So I haven't connected anything in here. So no logs or anything you can see over here. And I think it is I think I'm using the bit older overview. So there is a new overview page, but I'm not switching to that because I'm very much familiar with this one right now. But if we go ahead, you can see that what we are talking about, that there is going to be the data connectors through which you will be collecting the data in the architecture, key components of the architecture. Then there is a workspace where you will be storing your all logs, which we created just now. I will show you the data connectors part as well. And there is also going to be the analytics rules, which will be then help you to detect the whole, whatever is, any threat to your organization, you can detect that. So here you will see from different places, you can go firewall, Azure AD, different AD servers, you can collect the logs, store them onto the log analytic workspace, and onto this one, then you run your data analytics, your rules as well, which will help you to go ahead and detect itself. So, what actually will be happening? The next thing that this collection part is all about. We will be talking about the data, your, ingestion or data collection process. So first, we'll be starting with this something like data ingestion. So, there is going to be the heap of the data connector, which will be, helping you to ingest the security related data from various sources. So these sources, they can include cloud platform, on-premises system, security solution, network device, and more. So the data connectors, they act as a pipeline, which is enabling secure transfer of data to the Microsoft Sentinel for analysis purpose. And then, you will be doing what? Obviously, there is going to be the, if you are coming from any other Sentinel or sorry, SIM tool, you'll be familiar. Data mapping and normalization. So once you ingested that data, Sentinel will perform mapping and normalization. So mapping involve associating the ingested data with relevant field and properties within the platform. This step help align the data with the appropriate schemas and structure for effective analysis. And normalization, it involves standardizing and formatting the data to ensure consistency and accurate correlation across the different data sources. By normalizing the data, Microsoft Sentinel, it makes sure that that it can be effectively analyzed and compared to the detected patterns, anomalies, and any potential security threats. And we have just saw the log analytics workspace. So, it use the Azure Monitor log analytics, which is, storage solution. So you have to, that is kind of an evidence which you want to keep it for a very long time. So all the data that you ingested, that will be stored into the log analytics workspace and then advanced analytics. So once you ingest it, normalize the data, you will apply this analytics technique to uncover insight and identify any potential security threat. And this could leverage the machine learning, AI, and behavioral analytics to detect any anomalous pattern, unusual activity, and indicator of compromises. So, there are, this platform has many pre-built analytics rules, and even you can create your custom as well, custom rules as well, to correlate the event, and you can detect suspicious behavior, can generate alert. And with that, there is the visualization and reporting feature as well, which is, range of visualization tool and dashboard that you will be getting, over here, and it gives the security analyst, help you to visualize the security analysts to explore what they are doing, where the data come from, what kind of data that is there. So, these things will help you with the metrics, with the trends, with the alert. So you're getting all these things over here at once. Now, if I will show you that I keep talking about the log analytics, advanced analytics, and visualization. So, and data connector, right? So what is there? If you scroll down, first is here, data connectors. That is going to be the like predefined 127 connectors that you will be finding over here. You will find them onto this particular place. You can connect Active Directory, identity protection services. So, Azure services, Barracuda, BlackBerry, Checkpoint, Cisco services, Citrix, CyberArk. So you can get the, in the CF format as well, logs. So F5, ForcePoint. You can see a heap of the connectors are there. You want more, you can go to the Content Hub and install the direct connectors from there as well, which is not, directly over there. So you can go ahead, there are 290 solutions. So out of which possibly you can find your solution as well, and Microsoft is working with the third parties as well to, integrate as much as data connector so that it become easy for their user to ingest the data. That was the one thing. Second, that we keep talking about the analytics that there are predefined rules. So once you will go in here and you can go to the rule templates, you will see that there are heaps of, means around 487 of the rule template which is over here right now. So these number, they will keep increasing, and you can add more from the content hub. Obviously you can add your own rules as well. You have the option to create your, these templates as well, which will be analyzing the data that you have connected. And with that 57 of anomaly based detection, so UEBA, user entity behavior analytics, right, working with the Microsoft's AI and ML, you will have more and more options over there that is going to be in there, right? So when we are talking about the connectors, so what will happen, these will guide you when you go to the connector, sorry, like the connector. Now, okay, so data connector will obviously guide you. When you click on the one, they will guide you that what steps need to follow in case to install the, or how to get connected with the particular solution, right? So if it is a server, you will be installing some agents over there, right? And then getting the logs of, to your system. So this is going to be a whole process. That is how you are going to do it. And as I can see, I don't know why it is not showing me those page again. I will go in here, load this page and come back to the data connector part. Yeah, great. So you can pick up the services like Barracuda WAF, open the connector page, and it will guide you that what you need to do as a next step over here, right? What are the prerequisite, how you are going to configure it, links, and everything is going to be in there. What you have to do, follow this link. It will guide you directly to a page which will be having a particular step-by-step guide, what you need to do onto this one, right? So, you can go ahead, select from this page that how it will work, and it will guide you that how to work as well. Okay. So this is the one thing, the data connectors. Then analytics tool, which is creating the, your works over here, and all these kind of things. With that, for visualization, obviously there will be options like workbook, which will go and allow you to, once you collect log, get the graphs and charts into the place, so that if you are interested in working with them, giving you the virtual, visualization and all these things over here. We will go back to our presentations and we will talk about some use cases and key capabilities over here. Now, obviously why you want to use it. So, the what, in which cases it could be used. If we just talk about that, so there is going to be the threat detection and response. So Sentinel, as we discussed till now, it helps organization to detect and respond to the security threats in real time by aggregating and analyzing security related data from various sources. It enables the identification of potential security incident such as malware infection, unauthorized access attempts, data breaches. Security team, they can leverage from these advanced analytics capability. Even like I was just showing you, there was the option of UEBA, entity behavior analysis, and anomaly detection to identify any suspicious activity and pattern which is indicative of any cyber threat. So this proactive threat detection empower the organization to respond swiftly and mitigate the impact of security incident. Then insider threat monitoring. So like I was telling, when you have something like AIML running and having UEBA enabled, so it is very effective in monitoring and detecting the insider threat within the organization. So you can analyze user activity, access log, and other relevant data. It can identify abnormal user behavior, unauthorized access attempt, or data exfiltration attempt by the employee or the privileged user. So this allows security team to take the appropriate actions such as revoking the access privilege, investigating the incident, and preventing the potential data leak or insider attack. So cloud security monitoring, as more organization, they are embracing, embracing the cloud computing. So securing those environment become crucial, and Sentinel, it integrate with the cloud platforms such as Azure and can monitor the your cloud resources, virtual machines, servers, and services for security threat. And not only that, it can also get connected with the AWS and the GCP as well. So if you will be looking into the connectors, surely there will be something like Amazon Web Services here, AWS network activity, AWS user activity, right? Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong page. But yes, it can connect the GCP. It has the those options to go ahead and connect with your GCP, connect with your uh, AWS as well. So not only the it is limited to the one your tool, but it is going ahead and helping you with the others as well. You can check the here you can see AWS web services to get connected over there. You have these options. So similarly, if you scroll down, you'll be finding that there is going to be the GCP option as well. Let go ahead and get the overview from the GCP as well. Yeah, yeah, G Suite, right? You can connect the Google Workspace as well, and the solution will be working onto this particular part as well. So it gives the option of that. With that, it also give you the option of APT detection as well. So it is effective detecting those APTs as well. So APT are a sophisticated and stealthy attack that aim to compromise the organization system over an extended period. So by learning, by using the machine learning model and threat intelligence feed, Sentinel, it can detect the subtle indicator of APT such as CNC traffic, lateral movement, or data exfiltration. So it provides analysts the necessary insight of investigating and responding to the APT before they can significantly cause damage to you. So if I will take you here uh, to one of the rule which is very helpful over here in the analytics rule, and it will be by default enabled. So this is Microsoft's own proprietary AI ML based rule, which is this one, advanced multi-stage attack detection. It will be enabled by default. So it is something that will help you to detect APTs as well, right? So this is something that we can always go ahead and check them out. And when you start working with this Sentinel, you will be clearly having an idea onto the that. Now, you know, if it would have been a larger, a webinar, so we could have discussed something like multiple case studies and all. So I have put some links as well in the, this particular slide as well. And there are some case study. Like if I will drop this link to all the people who is sitting here right now in this webinar here, if I will do one thing, so this is their, customer success stories, right? So you can go and as a case study, you can read out any one of these if you're interested. So I'm dropping this link for everyone in the chat over here, GoToMeeting chat that we are using but right now. So I'm dropping this. You can check out for this yourself. So there you will be finding the n number of their users who has benefited from the secure the Sentinel itself. Like there is H&M Group of global fashion retailer which implemented the Sentinel to strengthen its security posture and streamline its security operation. There is ASOS, right? So it also used the same global bank. So there are a lot of the things that you will be finding over here. Okay, the from the Heineken Lab 3 EAM. So you can see the some of the success stories. You can go and banking and capital market. You can go ahead read about them. So what is happening, the difference, what it makes. So user success stories. Usually you'll be getting the whole idea over here. Right, similar story on the different one. You can just find these things implemented over here. So some of the case studies are always available to you if you want to go ahead and check them out for the particular purpose. Now, we will be, because we are talking about these things. On the next part, what we will be talking about, we will be just simply talking about the integration with the Azure services and third-party tool, which I was kind of showing you already in the, bit in the advance itself. So when we talk about this thing, so there what you're getting, so you can go ahead and you know you can go and you can integrate your service already with the Azure solutions like Active Directory and the other Azure solution, Azure Firewall, Azure WAF, okay, Azure Threat Detection. So different solutions are going to be in there, which you can directly go and integrate themselves. First is that. Okay. Second, Okay, great. So after that, I was discussing the your some of the your integration where you are having it with the third party tools. So Microsoft it integrates seamlessly with the Azure AD, which is Microsoft's cloud-based identity and access management service. So this integration allow organization to get the leverage the Azure AD logs with the data within the Sentinel and provide for the security monitoring and threat detection. Similar to that, like sign in activities and all. Like I was showing you about to show you over here is that when you go in here, you will see that like Azure Active Directory, you will click on this in the data connector, open the connector page, and it will be like simplest step. All the prerequisite here will be saying that yes, I have the read write permission on workspace, diagnostic setting as well, and I am either the global administrator or security administrator to work with the workspace. Now from here, I will select that which kind of logs I want to ingest. Okay. So this is going to be the one of the thing. So if you will see here, audit logs, let's say that I want to get the audit logs, non-interactive user sign in. For sign in logs, there is a condition that you need to have Azure AD Premium P1 or P2 license, ADFS, and all these logs. Select them and click on like, apply changes if you want, right? So this is okay, new setting. Oh, okay, okay. So there is already one that I created in the past, the same setting. I need to delete that one first, and then I need to deploy this one. It is clearly in the my notification, and that's why it called failed to do the same. So you will see that I can do this. I can select these, apply the change, and it will start doing things. Now I will have 9 related workbooks, means visualization related to this. You can check out these things. I am having 2 related queries and 109 analytics rule template related with the Azure Active Directory logs that I am getting. So first is that thing. Now second thing is that you can get the integration with the third party app. So two kind of thing, like I've just mentioned the logic app as well. You can use that as well to integrate the third party connector. One thing is that the connector which is available on the data connector section and content hub as well. First is that if you find it for your product, if there is a direct connector, that's good, that's great. So like you are using the Jira audit. So if you want to use that, you can have that. Like I was showing you the let's say F5 networks you want to connect, or force points DLP solution. If you are using, you want to go that with that one, you can go ahead and select that one. It will be telling you again the prerequisite what you require, then how you are going to do and configure this thing. So there is this link again, which will be, I'm pretty much sure, taking you to the force point DLP, where it will be asking you, and you will be providing this workspace ID and primary key of this to go ahead, go there and apply this thing. So it will be just discussing about step by step what you need to do. It talk about the architecture as well, how to implement this thing, a video demo they have as well, source code for that, and connecting, how to connect, and how you'll be working with that. So the whole thing is described step by step guide, and you will use that and run the codes and everything, and it will create the logs for you like this. And then the books, the metrics, so they have clearly gone ahead and do this thing. So how to connect with the third party. Sometime you will be seeing that it is not enough, you are not getting the logs directly. And even when you are getting the exfiltrating the logs or working with the third party sim tool as well, so there you have to use something which is known as the logic app. And you need to give a few things. The basic that it goes, you need to create an application which you will be giving the permission to go ahead and get or send the data to the your log analytic workspace. So you will register this application onto the Azure's Active Directory, and with that, through the APIs you will start communicating and ingesting the logs. So these options are also available if you don't find your connector in these connector page directly. So no direct correlation between either onto the data connector part or content hub, you don't find your solution, you will have the option to use this something like the logic app. And also what we have is we have the option to integrate with the some leading solutions as well, like with the your what I would say, with the Splunk, right? With the your arc site as well. Okay, Curadar as well. So if I will show you, like there will be I think I will have a link. I was working on this, so I was having this link over here, that how, from the tech community Microsoft blog, that how you will be exporting data from Splunk to Azure Sentinel. So there will be all from and to, and from to, so both cases, upstream to Sentinel and downstream for Sentinel, what thing you required, what you need to do. So all the diagram, scenario, everything will be discussed here. So if someone is interested in something like this, so the people who is sitting here, I'm just going over here and pasting into the chat box the particular link. So you can go ahead and architecture wise, you can work with the third party SIM tools as well, right? So earlier when it launched, these many of the facilities were not there. So over the time, Sentinel clearly evolved, and I think this is what we can expect from it as well. So over the years, the more it will be in the market, more it will be evolving. They are actually doing a handful changes right now in the Sentinel, and you will be seeing that lot of the things they will be, there will be, which they will be saying is in preview. Why? Because they are changing a lot of things, lot of the connectors, way of collecting data, they are going to be changed till the August of 2024. The some of the older ways they are going to retire by the August of 2024. So one thing in the cloud is that things they keep changing, and then those things they keep you on your toes, and always kind of force you to learn something new, and that's a good thing as well. Now when we talk about these particular resources as well, why don't we just simply talk about the your some of the simple best practices for implementing the your Microsoft Sentinel, right? It is just my way of telling you or giving you this some simple suggestions over there. So when you are implementing the Microsoft Sentinel, there is going to be the several best practices that can help organization to maximize its effectiveness and making sure the successful development. And some of the key best practices to consider are here. So before implementing Microsoft Sentinel, clearly define your objective and use cases, determine the specific security challenge that you aim to address, and outline the goal you want to achieve with the platform. This will help you to tailor the deployment and configuration to Microsoft Sentinel to meet your organization's unique requirement. Now, develop a comprehensive plan for data collection and integration. Identify the relevant data source, the such as the log from the security solution, network devices, cloud platform, and other systems. Make sure that you have the necessary data connector and integration to place to ingest the data into the Microsoft Sentinel. Define the data retention policy and storage requirement to optimize performance and comply with the regulatory your obligation. So then you can go ahead and invest time in designing a proper data schema and mapping strategy, understanding the structure and format of the data that you are ingesting, and define a mapping strategy to normalize and correlate the data effectively. This will make sure consistency and accuracy when performing analysis and generating insight from the collected data. Now, next thing is defining the clear incident response process and workflow. Determine how alert an incident will be traced, investigate, and escalate within your organization. Establish the playbook and response action to automate routine tasks and response activity. Regular review and update your incident response process to align with the evolving threats and organization needs. Now, integrate threat intelligence feed and platform onto the Sentinel. This will enhance the platform's ability to detect and respond to known threat and indicator of compromises. So stay updated on the latest threat intelligence sources and make sure timely ingestion of relevant threat data to improve the accuracy of threat detection and response. Then, continuous monitoring and tuning. So, implement a process for continuous monitoring and tuning of Microsoft Sentinel. Regularly review and refine detection rules, query, and analytics to optimize platform's performance and accuracy. Stay informed about the new features, update best practices from Microsoft and the security community to leverage the latest capability to platform. Seventh, foster collaboration. So promote collaboration between security team, IT team, and other stakeholders within your organization. Encourage cross-functional communication and information sharing to effectively leverage Microsoft Sentinel Insight and drive the coordinated security action, I would say. Then provide training and skill develop opportunity for your security team. Ensure that they have a true understanding of the Microsoft Sentinel platform, its feature and capability. Encourage them to explore advanced analytics, automation, and threat hunting technique to maximize the value derived from the Microsoft Sentinel. Remember that implementing Sentinel is ongoing process. Continuously assess and refine your deployment based on the changing security requirement, organizational needs, and industry trend to make sure that you derive maximum value from platform over the time. Okay. So, you have to do some of the consideration as well for the data ingestion, creation, and customization as well. You have to just keep those things as well. That's why I'm saying it is always an ongoing process. So, when you will be doing the data ingestion, you have to identify the relevant data sources. You need to evaluate the data volume and retention. All these kind of these small things, you know, you will be, going ahead and using it. Now, one thing, like if I will just talk about this, few things. I didn't talk about that how you are going, those rules, those analytics rules, they were written in which language. If you want to create your own, which language you need to use. Okay. So there, one thing like I was talking about the data ingestion that suddenly clicked onto my mind that there is a language which is known as the KQL, known as the Custo Query language. So if you will be inquiring your logs, you want to create your own query doing threat hunting. So the most of the work is going to be with this one, the KQL. So kind of KQL is the king. Okay. You'll be using this query to go ahead doing all the things, the tasking. If you have some data, you want to parse some data, you will be using the, KQL. So it is going to have functions and everything to go ahead and doing the parsing to everything over there. So, this is something that just clicked onto my mind because I was just talking about that you need to identify that, in the data ingestion, your relevant data source. You need to evaluate the data volume and retention periods. And you need to optimize that, data collection means fine tune the data collection to focus on most relevant logs and event. Then rule creation. So define the clear objectives, right? And use cases before you create the rules. Then leverage the built-in rules because there is already Microsoft security expert. They have written the predefined rules for you. So use them to go ahead and work with that. Then refine and tune your rules properly over the time, right? To reduce the false positive and improve detection accuracy. Then customization. So tailor analytic query. So align with your organization specific environment, security policies, and threat landscape. You might need to tailor the, your specific query. So you need to understand this KQL, Kusto query language, and understand functions that is going to be available with this one. You will be going ahead and, customizing the dashboards, the workbooks, and for that as well, knowledge of this will be very much helpful. And then integrating it with the workflows and tools, and after that regularly monitoring and update. So monitor the rule effectiveness. You will be going ahead and regularly monitor the performance and effectiveness of your rules, analyze alerts and incidents generated by the rule, and identify the area of improvement and refinement. So stay up to date with the new feature and capability. Keep track of all those things, best practices, what has been defined by the Microsoft and all, right? So remember to document your customization effort, maintain a change management process, and collaborate with the relevant stakeholder to make sure that your data ingested, rule creation, and customization it align with the organization's security objective and your requirements over here, right? So this is one thing. And if I will take you back onto the portal where we were talking about the Sentinel, remember this is not only the SIM tool, but also it has the SOAR capabilities as well for the automation. So if you want to do the automation, okay, want to take few steps, you will be finding the automation option over here. So again, if you are creating something, one thing that is going to be called automation rules, you can create rules like if incident happen, then what you need to do next. Are you going to run some of the automated tasks? And to create those automated tasks, there will be a term which is used, which will be called playbooks. Enabled playbooks are zero because this is just newly created one. So what are the playbooks? They are nothing but again the Logic app, which is one of the serverless services from the Microsoft Azure, which will let you design or choose that what you do to next, right? With the HTTP headers post body, what you want to do, like you want to send message over Slack or over the Teams, you want to send the mail that this alert has been generated, you want to block IP addresses, you want to go ahead and block your identities, so those kind or user accounts, so those kind of thing you will be able to do with the Microsoft Sentinel here. So Microsoft Sentinel in general, what important, so the we discuss about something like KQL, Kusto query language. I remember, I think last year I already taken I think 2 days boot camp onto the Kusto query language, how to work it. So you might find it on our YouTube page, Infosec Train's YouTube page. Here, there also this webinar will be uploaded as well. So here you will be getting the idea that how this KQL it work. Okay, the basic query language. So if you want to create your own rules, so always you will have the option to work with that. You know, in onboarding third party, integrating, work with it. You need to understand the KQL a bit over here, right? So this is just the overview that I wanted to give you guys that about the Sentinel. So we already have the Sentinel training course from Infosec Train. If you guys are interested into this, so there is, I think, one batch which is about to start from the 26th of June as well. So someone who wants to go ahead and understand the very basic, so it is a beginner to intermediate level of a course where we will focus on how to onboard your Sentinel, why it is better, talking about those things, focusing on that, then onto the KQL, then using the generic example like Azure Active Directory, creation of some virtual machine. We will be investigating, generating in some incident, investigating, onboarding and connectors. We will be very specifically most of the time playing with the connectors, creation with the help of APIs, the application registration. Try to understand that how to ingest your data, because right now most important thing is the people to understand that how the cloud sim they actually work, connect and work. So it will focus on that. It will give you the option of how you will be investigating from an analyst point of view, that how you will see the diagram, what option you will have, how to do the threat hunting onto the intermediate level, and work with the threat intelligence, what is UEBA, watch list, the different feature of this. So already we have this thing, so I dropped that one particular link. So if you guys are interested into the same, you can go ahead and check out the our Sentinel training course as well if you're interested to learn more about the Sentinel itself. So Sentinel is, I think, is going to change the landscape of the sim tools, by and already it has changed the things. And as it is a cloud-based sim, many organizations they start attracted towards it, try to understand it as well. So this is surely going to change the your future. So this was just an overview, an idea regarding your cloud, what is the cloud-based sim. Microsoft Sentinel. So it was impossible to discuss everything in 1 hour, but I give you the kind of the idea what is the Sentinel, the best practices, its architecture, the tools that is being used with us. So thank you so much for joining in at this particular time.